Namaste dosto. This video isn't to bag on the police or to beat on the police. It's actually to tell them what I would do if it was my job to shut down scam call centers here in Delhi. And it's not very hard, as you saw from my last video where I showed how damn easy it is to find scam call centers by pretending to be a job applicant here. I've got my masala chai as always, so let's talk about that. Let me expand more on how the police here in India could proactively shut down all of these scam call centers in Delhi, because the fact is, over the years, they haven't been proactive, and that's why the problem is so big. That's why hundreds of thousands, no, if not millions of foreigners are receiving scam calls from Delhi and further across India. Kolkata, Haryana, Punjab, Uttarakhand. These are the hubs, but we'll specifically talk about Delhi. So, because the police haven't been doing anything for so many years, these scam call center operators are not afraid of the police. They don't think the police is coming from them because they're targeting foreigners. The victim is overseas, so why would the police care, right? Plus, the victim has no idea where the call came from. The victim cannot trace that call back to that specific call center in, I don't know, Petergadi or Pitampura. They just can't do it. It's not possible, actually, unless you're someone technically savvy like Jim Browning, who's sitting there and waiting for the calls to come in. So these scam call center owners know this, and so obviously there's no foreigners complaining to the Indian police about this. And that's what the police's defense might be. We're not getting any complaints from foreigners. And when they are getting complaints, they're getting them from Microsoft, Apple, these types of companies, and they're providing good information, and then the Indian police are acting on it, which is great. They are doing some work when they're getting the information. It's just, in my opinion, that this whole situation could have been avoided if they had to be more proactive. And there's one very, very easy way to find these scam call centers. These scam call centers have one big loophole which the police can exploit. And by telling all this publicly, don't think that these scam call centers will get scared and stop or change their methods. They won't. These are very greedy people who don't care. And so these illegal call centers have such a high turnover because the bosses are assholes. They don't pay their people on time, and because the kids realize that they're scamming after 1 or 2 months on the job. At the beginning, they're tricked in saying that, yeah, you're actually working for Microsoft or the IRD, you're actually working for them. So for a while, they think, this is a legit job, but then they realize, and then they leave, or they leave because the boss isn't paying them properly. Man, these scam call center bosses are the biggest douchebags. They're earning so much money. With just 5 or 6 people, they can earn around 400,000 American dollars a year. These kids are getting paid about 25,000 rupees or $333 American a month. Their bosses are driving Mercedes, taking their wives on expensive luxury 5-star trips overseas, and they're living in these fancy villas in Delhi, but they can't pay their staff properly or on time still. Absolute douchebags they are. So this hiring process, they need so many people. They're going to legitimate HR companies and saying, can you please hire for my illegal scam call center, and I'll give you 10,000 rupees per person that you send for an interview. And these HR companies are turning into scam companies by taking this work knowingly that the guy is operating an illegal call center. And when I call up for these interviews, they always tell me, when I ask them that, is it an illegal call center or what? They always say yes. They have absolutely no fear because the police haven't done anything for so long. They're not worried at all. So the police need to be more proactive. And so what they need to do is just do exactly what I did in the video and do it the same way I do it. Go to these HR companies, pose as a job candidate looking for a job in a call center, and just do exactly what I did. Take the location and then go for an interview. Go a step further than me. Go in for the interview and sit there for a day and learn what scripts they are doing and use that time to collect evidence for your case as well. This will literally take you 1 day's work per scam call center to build the evidence against. And by going through these HR firms, you can apply multiple times and go to many different call centers. This one that I did in that video, they were hiring for 10 to 20 different scam call centers all across Delhi. Absolutely everywhere in Delhi, these scam call centers are hiding. And these job advertisements for scam call centers, they're all over Facebook, they're all over Naukri.com. Anywhere you find a job, you will have scam recruiters calling you. So this is a coordinated effort against HR companies recruiting scammers, and obviously against the scam call centers as well. And so after you've been through every single scam call center this HR firm is offering, you go and you raid them all and you shut them down, and you shut down the HR firm as well. This has one big effect, shutting down these HR hiring companies. It's going to limit the amount of people that the rest of the scam call centers can hire. It is going to really impact their hiring. They're going to have to hire themselves through job advertisements. And just by continuing to be a job candidate, you can keep finding more and more of these scam call centers. Even if they're starting to hire on their own, you will always be able to go through their job hiring route and find out if they're a scam call center and find out all their information about them. It's honestly too easy, but this is a proactive measure, okay? You have to be proactive about it if you want to take down these scam call centers. Foreigners are not going to be sending you complaints because they don't know where the call came from. That is the one strength that these scam call centers have had for a long time, that foreigners can't complain about them so they can easily hide from the police. But now it's the police's turn to be proactive and take down these scam call centers who are looting foreigners for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, millions. Millions of dollars are going from foreign bank accounts into Indian bank accounts. These scammers are living the high life. So I really hope this has helped, and I hope the police will understand that I respect them and the work that they do in general. I know they have more work to do than just looking after foreigners, but just a little bit of proactive work, a small task force, you can wipe out the scam call centers here in Delhi. At least you can make them go underground and have them running for cover and have them much smaller operations with far fewer people being employed in them. Now guys, if you have any experience in policing, feel free to leave your tactics in the comments. What would you do if you were the Indian police? How would you take these scam call centers down? You guys might not know this, but I have two of my bosses for about 6 years. They were ex-cops from UK and New Zealand, so I did learn quite a lot from them about policing and about proactive policing, actually, because that's what we were doing. We were investigating copyright infringements for the music and the movie industry and actually taking them down. So that's where my experience from all this comes from, and you can learn more about that in a video that I've made about my past jobs. I'll link to it all in the description. Jai Hind.